Shalom, Yasharala. It's your brother Dawada, coming back at you with this here truth again. First and foremost, I want to give all praise unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Rakah Kwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone that taught me this truth and that rule well. And salutation and much love for you, Aki, and pushing this truth and sincerity on the four corners of the earth and enduring afflictions to feed and edify the elect. Alright, so I've been going into, well, not necessarily I've been going into, but a lot of these things is coming up now, really with these end time prophecies, man. They just shoving it all down our throat all at once. These birth pains, the contractions are real close, You got the mark of the beast system. We're going to get onto that last, because that's what the topic is about. But nevertheless, you have the wars and things going on, you know what I'm saying? And also, you also have a lot more things dealing with the chariots coming out, And so we know those are three big major things that's dealing with end time prophecies, as well as the famine of the word. And we've seen that, like I said, we're gonna kind of touch on that with the internet downage. We've seen a lot of these things start to happen, especially over like the last week and a half. There's been a lot of different things, there was a lot of shakeup, a lot of people are like trying to figure out what the hell is going on and what's with all this all at once. There's a lot of crazy shit popping off basically all at once, but nevertheless, looking into, not really too much of the internet outage and, how certain things was down, because, I looked into that at once and it was just basically saying that they were switching basically over into a different system, a new system. If you remember back when we had those TVs with the rabbit ears, which was, I believe, called analog television, and they had that conversion to where they went to digital. There was that one day where everything switched over, pretty much the same shit happened, which they're preparing for this 5G, Now with the 5G system, all right, which, like I said, we're going to touch on in this here video. The 5G system is basically it's the backbone of this whole mark of the beast system, This mark of the beast, we know that the mark of the beast is the RFID chip, but in a bigger picture, you have the whole system, all right? And we're going to touch on pieces of that system today. But nevertheless, this 5G, which I've been saying for quite a while now, is the backbone of this system. They're going to put everything on the internet, which they have the Internet of Things, These computer processors that they're going to have inside of these things that has to process multiple different things all at once. They're going to use D-Wave computers or D-Wave processors, these little chips, right? Which basically, in layman's terms, is AI, right? Artificial intelligence, all right? And I'm not going to sit here and tell you we're going to come into this day one day where we're going to be into AI and robots. We already in that day today. They didn't unroll this shit out now. I forgot what date it was. I think it was October 1st or some shit, like earlier off this month, which now I'm thinking about it coincides with the internet going down. When you go into the 5G, they was going to start unrolling 5G into, I believe, a couple different cities. I know it was out in Texas somewhere, whether it was like Houston or Dallas, somewhere out there, somewhere in California, Indianapolis, and there was maybe one or two other places they were gonna start rolling that 5G out, and that was basically this month, So like I'm saying, they're preparing, not preparing, they're turning on their new system, they're turning that switch on, and they're releasing everything that they got, If we're not going to really cover it in this video here, but if you go into looking up Sophia, that AI robot that they got, and you really do some research into that shit, and you like read between the lines of what they not necessarily openly telling you, like, yo, this shit is this shit, like that, you know what I mean? But they basically openly telling you what it's doing, and you figure out what the, how do you say, the marriage between AI and like cryptocurrencies is, not cryptocurrencies, blockchain is, what all that shit is all about, you know what I'm saying, and how they need each other, and how this shit is, man, this is some crazy shit that they got going, because it gets to a certain point and extent that once it's completely out of the hands of human beings, this shit is damn near demonic, But nevertheless, we're gonna kind of save that portion for a whole other video. And this, we just gonna be looking at some of the systems that they got in place and what they already got now. All right, and like I've been saying for the longest time, man, that social media, we as the citizens, you know what I'm saying, are the ones that's feeding this system. They have a saying where it's like AI and all this type of stuff would not exist if there wasn't something called metadata. Now, metadata is like you got data, right? Information. You know, let's say you have a hard drive on your computer, and on your hard drive you got all the music you got. That's all the data that's on your computer. But let's say, like in today's terms, you can have like 160 couple gigs, a couple hundred gigs of music on your phone. You know, when you calculate how much gigabytes of music you can, you know, how much, like 10 gigabytes worth of music, that's a lot of music. You know what I'm saying? Now, just when you translate that to like 100 something gigs of music, that's a whole fuckload of music. You know what I'm saying? But nevertheless, when you get onto these, how do I say, these new systems and shit like that, all this stuff is, how do I say, I can't even, there's not even words for this shit. It's just mind boggling. But once you start looking at how this shit is all, intertwined with each other, you'll be like, what the hell is this shit that we looking at? But nevertheless, we're going to look at some of these systems here, and I'm going to play 2 little videos just to basically give you the short end of the stick and a visualization of what the hell, like, more pieces to the puzzle, you know, because like what we read, which we're going to read about the buying and the selling, and you know how it is now when they ask you for the chip and the debit card. It's way more than just that. You know what I'm saying? They're going to have everything all in one, man. So I'm going to jump into 2 quick videos real quick. We're going to just take portions out of this video, but I just wanted to point this out. So I'm not too good on the sound and all that. I don't know if the sound's going to come out clear, but Lord willing, the sound come out clear. And it's not much to hear, but just watch the visualizations. Real quick, this is called the Argus system, all right? Now, this basically is, this is like coming out of a drone airplane, basically. But these drones are in what we would think of as outer space, but these shits is in lower Earth orbit where the satellites are at, right? So, but we would think of this shit as in outer space. But nevertheless, this is like one drone. You're going to just basically see one drone, but they can have hundreds of these shits, right? You're going to see one drone that's basically able to do what they're going to show you is going to be able to do. But just imagine multiple of these drones, you know, setting forth a backbone to this system. This is not just one thing working by itself. You got to take in part this shit here, all right, working in tandem with the RFID chip, because this is going to be the sensor. This is going to be the receiver to receive all these damn transmissions coming from all these RFID chips. All right. And notice how he's going to say, look, we can pick out all these different images. All right. Now, the crazy and scary part about this shit, you know what I'm saying, how it's all coming together for real now, is that all this shit has been in the movies, which, I mean, I know about a lot of this shit already, but a lot of this shit's been in the movies, and some of this far-fetched shit is coming to life super quick. Like the movie Transformers and shit, man. Yo, you really finna start having, like, when you open your eyes and realize, yo, dog, your cars is about to start transforming on your ass. Your house finna start this shit is already doing this. You know what I'm saying? But nevertheless, hey, man, I gotta expose this damn devil, man. Not just me, but the men of the Lord, we exposing this damn devil, because these are the signs that we at the end of this damn time, man. Because, hey, man, the time don't be short, no flesh gonna be saved. But nevertheless, back into the lesson.
Of the pieces that make up the sensors, so you get to look at pretty plastic curtains. Also known as wide area persistent stare, Argus is the equivalent of having up to 100 predators look at an area the size of a medium-sized city at once.
Now, they say up to 100 to look at a medium-sized city. They don't need 100. They only need 1, right? They're going to show you that here in the next scene. But nevertheless, like I said, man, they got the whole thing gridded out. That's why they need this 5G network. And like, you really go into that shit, that shit's going to be like the movie The Matrix. With that system, all right, and other portions of this Argus system, the ground-based sensors and things like that, because they also sell it in the package for home security systems and stuff like that. You can look that up. Just look up Argus system, ARGUS systems, all right? Now, with this whole system on the ground base, with the sensories, is able to map out a 3D imagery of the whole area. This is why they got to have 5G to cover the whole entire planet Earth, all right? And then they can sit here, and this is how they find it. They already got this shit, man. This is how they finding all these new species, and they can also read your goddamn DNA through this shit. So all they got to do, you know what I'm saying, is pinpoint the Israelites. Now, in the next video, they going to basically break the shit down to you on that, all right? This is how they going to implement this shit, man, all right?
This image was taken 17,000...
So, listen to these facts. This is one drone covering damn near a whole city. Now, they also showed you this in the movie The Dark Knight, in the Batman movie, where Morgan Freeman turned on that damn screen and they was able to find so-and-so through all these different cameras and shit throughout the city. They not using all these, well, they are using the little cameras around the city, but that's the old ass way. They about to get rid of all the damn cameras everywhere like that. You know what I'm saying? And turn these shits into sensors. They don't need that shit no more. All right. Your facial recognition, they was using that shit like with Snapchat and Facebook and all this extra shit with metadata and all that, like I was explaining earlier. But nevertheless, this is the new facial recognition from the top view. You know what I'm saying? These motherfuckers is taking schematics of how you walk, your swagger, from way out in outer space, man. They can zoom in and read the data off a dime. All right? This is how precise this shit is. So just listen to what they saying with these schematics.
500 equivalent of having up to 100 predators look at an area the size of a medium-sized city at once. This image was taken 17,500 feet above Quantico, Virginia, and covers 15 square miles.
17,000 feet up in the sky. And you're going to see how they zoom all the way to fucking real time, multiple different views and all that with one drone. All right. Over, I think they said 15 square miles. And you go to a heavily populated place like New York City or somewhere like that. Bruh, you see what I'm saying? And this is only one drone. All right.
This whole image is at a very, very fine resolution. So if we wanted to know what is going on in any spot along this image, say near this building at this intersection, we can generate.
Now, first of all, from this height, you can't even distinguish a building. They just look like little dots or whatever, whatnot. But watch this shit.
A moving image that shows what's going on in the area.
Now, notice how every single moving image is being tagged, whether they walking in a car, not in a car. All right. Now, in the future, like they said, they got the other video with the damn RFID chips. They plan on having every fucking thing chipped, from every leaf on every tree to every blade of grass. And this system will help them do that with this 3D imaging from the ground sensors pointing up. All right.
By touching the screen, Antoniades has opened up a window showing a detailed area while still maintaining the broader context. And everything that is a moving object is being automatically tracked. The color boxes represent that the computer has recognized the moving objects. You can see individuals crossing the street. You can see individuals walking in parking lots. There's actually enough resolution to be able to see the people waving their arms or walking around, what kind of clothes they wear.
So when that Jacob's trouble come into play, man, hey man, like I be saying, man, we don't have no weapons or nothing to defend ourselves against this, other than the fact that we can call on Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shah, Bahashim Rakah Kodash. You know what I'm saying? And the Lord will save us. You know what I'm saying? Hear our cries and save us, man. Because with shit like this, when they already rolling this shit out now, man. This ain't coming. This shit here is now. All right. That's why they switching over all these systems right now. All right. They turning this system on. So wait till we get to the next little scene. But nevertheless, let me finish this off.
You could pick the location of where you produce these images anywhere in the entire field of view. Antoniades can open up to 65 windows at once and can see objects as small as 6 inches on the ground. From even 17,500 feet, the white thing that you see flying around is a bird. Argus streams live to the ground.
Imagine that. You can look up in the sky sometimes and see airplanes, and they just as tiny as like a speck of dust, right? These shits is way up higher than that. I can see a bird. Compare the size of a bird to a plane and the distance that you are from the plane on the ground. You way closer to the plane on the ground. You on the ground is way closer to the plane in the air than that damn satellite, that drone is from outer space to the damn bird. You see what I'm saying? And they can pick that shit up. Man, man, talking about I'll be like
it also stores everything. 1,000,000 terabytes of video a day, which is the equivalent of
1,000,000 terabytes per day. Who the fuck is going to be sorting all this, storing all this, processing all this, all simultaneously real time? What kind of computers? You see, you got to have AI and supercomputers with this shit. All right? Where are you going to store this into? You see what I'm saying? You need the demands of other types of systems to run this type of shit.
1,000 hours of high definition footage. So you can go back.
Hang on.
Stores everything. 1,000,000 terabytes of video a day, which is the equivalent of 5,000 hours of high definition footage. So
What has the time to process 5,000 hours of footage in a less than a 24-hour span? Because think about it. This shit's going to be recording 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So if it's got to process everything that's going on in a 24-hour span, and it's got 5,000 hours of that in a 24-hour time frame, you know, just thinking about that shit mathematically, you can't even process all that information. It would take you 5,000 hours to process 5,000 hours of video. You see what I'm saying? But they're going to be able to do this shit in less than 24 hours. All right? Hence, D-Wave supercomputers, AI technology.
Go back and say, I would like to see what happened at this particular location 3 days, 2 hours, 4 minutes ago, and it would actually show you exactly what happened as if you were watching it live. To create...
And really, they can go back to the day they turn this shit on because they recording this shit from, like they just said, they can store this shit. You know what I'm saying? Now, we're going to touch on this here this other video here real quick. Now, this is that Sophia chick that I was telling you about. You should look into this, but check this here. Peace out.
It's a big deal, but we have something much bigger. Your kids probably have one of these, right? Not quite. Hell of a pilot? No. That skill is all AI. It's flying itself. Its processor can react 100 times faster than a human. The stochastic motion is an
100 times faster than a human. Think about that. You don't even really know how fast human beings are when you really think about this. Move your finger. You see what I'm saying? From the time you could think about moving your finger, processing that, knowing what types of nerves and all this and that, your body already making that reaction. You know what I'm saying? As fast as you need to blink to protect something from going in your eye, that shit is like fucking instantly. And they saying that this shit has reaction time, you know what I'm saying, 100 times faster than that shit. So like you just saw him try to grab this shit, and this shit just realized, wait a minute, incoming danger. Let me move and not collide with nothing else. It processed all this shit that was going on, how much force, energy, and everything it needed to do to combat, move, and be safely and continue flight, all while homeboy is making that reaction, all while determining that all this shit is happening in real time. You see what I'm saying?
Sniper feature. Just like any mobile device these days, it has cameras and sensors, and just like your phones and social media apps, it does facial recognition. Inside here,
just like your phones and social media apps, i.e. Snapchat, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all those things, it's made up by the CIA for these things. That's what I'm saying. You giving them the data to process this. You the one feeding them the information that they got to go through, process this, and learn this information from. All right? But nevertheless, hey, man, look how small this little shit is, man. Wait till you see what they're going to do with these shits, with this swarm technology.
Is 3 grams of cheap explosive. This is how it works. Did you see that? That little bag is enough to penetrate the skull and destroy the contents. They used to say guns don't kill people. People do. Well, people don't. They get emotional, disobey orders, aim high. Let's watch the weapons make the decisions. Now, trust me, these are all bad guys.
When they say, trust me, these are all bad guys, in whose perspective? All right? Who's coming out with this technology? You got to remember, this is Esau. Who is the so-called bad guy to Esau and a threat to his plan? All right? The children of the Most High. All right? So you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, all right, these are the weapons of warfare that's going to be used against you in Jacob's trouble. All this shit's about to be released on your ass. All right?
Now that is an airstrike.
And again, remember, pair this to the first system. When they got your ass from outer space and everything is locked and loaded, everything that's moving, you can't even run in the cover of night or whatever, whatnot, because it's going to pick you up. with motion sensors and everything like that. And deploy these shits. You about to see how they're going to be deployed out. But they're going to deploy these things. They so fucking small you can't even see it. You know, in fact, look back at Nicolas Maduro's drone attack. What do you think they was hitting that guy with, trying to hit him with? You see what I'm saying? They already got this shit rolled out, man.
Right of surgical precision. It's one of a range of products. Trained as a team, they can penetrate buildings, cars, trains, evade people, bullets, pretty much any counter.
Evade people and bullets. They faster than a damn speeding bullet. But as you also notice that they're using that swarm technology. All right, they merging multiple technologies here. They got the drone technology where somebody can control it. Then they got the swarm technology where one person can control multiple ones. Then they done gave that power over to the AI to make all these decisions, to process all this shit and control all these damn robots and self-build and self-replicate all this shit.
They cannot be stopped. Now, I said this was big. Why? Because we are thinking big. Watch. A $25 million order now buys this. Enough to kill half a city. The bad half.
Enough to kill half a city, the bad half. $25 million. You see how cheap that is nowadays? Shit, Jay-Z could go goddamn kill off a whole lot of motherfuckers with his money. You see what I'm saying? Beyonce could too. You see what I'm saying? If niggas can do this shit, just imagine what the so-called white man could do. $25 million. You see what I'm saying? We already know he's spraying us with chemtrails and all this other stuff. Come on, man. You see what they doing with this shit?
Nuclear is obsolete. Take out your entire enemy. Virtually risk-free.
You see this at the top? It says the LX 700K Liberator, 700,000 anti-personnel units. One launcher from one launcher with one load fired off one time could basically send off 700,000. At the end could be bombs. Who's not to say that they could be injecting or spraying some kind of chemical warfare that could do way more damage than just being 700 individual thousand bombs. You see what I'm saying?
Just characterize him. Really?
Target profile, age, sex, fitness, uniform, ethnicity. Or break it down simply, are they Israelites or non-Israelites? Or simply, they got the mark of the beast or they don't got the mark of the beast.
Release the swarm and rest easy. These are available today. We have a distribution network taking orders from military, law enforcement, and specialist clients.
The nation is still recovering from yesterday's incident, which officials are describing as some kind of automated attack.
Attacked just one side of the aisle. It was chaos. People were screaming.
You can see high windows, very small, precisely punctured to gain entry to the building.
Just buzzing. Government sources admit the intelligence community has no idea who perpetrated the attack, nor whether it was a state, group, or even a single individual.
We are investing very heavily in classified defense projects.
We make it our deterrent like our nuclear deterrent. We stockpile in the millions, the billions.
At key facilities. The White House, the New York Stock Exchange, Wall Street.
Claim relaxing firearm legislation would be useless against the so-called slaughter bots.
Just to stay away from crowds. When indoors, keep windows covered with shutters.
Protect your family. Stay inside.
Now that was the swarm technology that I was telling you about. You had that one guy controlling all those drones or whatever, you know. You only have to program one and the other ones will follow suit in the same thing. Now I was playing the rest of their video out because there was a point there that was like, well, who's the controller of this or who's behind this? And they'd be like, well, that's the thing, we don't know. You see what I'm saying? But we know who it is, Esau Edom, the so-called white man. Now I'm gonna go ahead and cut this here video here, and then I'm gonna go bring it back with a second portion with the scriptures I wanted to pull out because I didn't know it was going to actually take this amount of time. And plus, I don't know if they're going to take this video down with so-called copyright strikes. So, you know, the most important part of this is all dealing with the scriptures portion. So we're going to come back with the second portion of this. You know, it's basically a continuation, but we're going to just go on with the scriptures. So with that, we're going to go ahead and close out. Say, Call Halal Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shah, Bahashim, Rakah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders, a great millstone that taught me this truth and that rule well. And salutation and much love for you, Akim, pushing this truth and sincerity on the four corners of the earth and enduring afflictions to feed and edify the elect. Stay strong. Shalom.